today's episode of our Tech Security 101 webinar series. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining. And for those of us that joined earlier, thank you for waiting patiently for others to join. So my name is Chisom Anaesiuba, and I'll be moderating today's session. It's the 13th episode of our webinar series, and in our last episode we discussed using McAfee DLP to prevent data loss in client machine. But today we'll be talking about a Cisco product, which I would like to give us a brief background into this topic just before I hand over to our speaker for today. So today's organizations are struggling with what we call security blind spots. There's an explosion of devices on the private network, and more workloads are being migrated to the public cloud. Meanwhile, security practitioners are swamped and getting a little overwhelmed with security alerts to the point of it being unmanageable. As such, you find that only about 51% of security alerts are investigated, and more than half of those are not remediated, according to a 2019 benchmark study done by Cisco. So attackers are quick to take advantage of these developments to breach network defenses and remain undetected. Organizations need an easy way to see their network activity, understand what normal entity behavior is, and identify the signs of threats. Stealthwatch Cloud accomplishes this by consuming sources of telemetry and logs from the private network and public cloud, and then modeling to identify threat activity. So yes, our topic for today is scalable visibility and security analytics using Cisco Stealthwatch. And to take us on this topic is Hamed Abudu, a network and security engineer at Ha-Shem Limited. Well, I'll allow Hamed to give us more details on his competencies when I hand over to him. Just before I proceed to do that, I'd also like to share some housekeeping rules, which would help us to have a seamless learning experience. So first, we'll appreciate if everyone has their mics muted through the session. And if you have any questions as our speaker takes us through, kindly type it in the chat window or pen it down and hold on to it until the Q&A session, where we'll be addressing questions. During the Q&A session, you can then signify by raising your hand with the raise hand feature in your meeting window, and I'll call on you to proceed to ask your question. Also, kindly note that this session is being recorded, and the recording will be made available to all attendees after the webinar. There will be a feedback survey towards the end of the session, which would appreciate everyone filling in order for us to know how we're doing, how we can improve, and what other topics are of interest to you that you would like us to cover in our subsequent sessions. Excuse me. Finally, you can keep up with us on events like this one by following us on social media. So I'm going to share a link to our social media channels in the chat window. Please feel free to follow us on all or any of your preferred social media channels. Yes. So thank you all, and I hope that you find this session insightful. I'll be handing over to Hamed now to take us on this session. Over to you, Hamed.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Chisom. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the introduction to the topic. So today we'll be taking scalable visibility and security analytics with Cisco Stealthwatch. I believe everyone is going to gain knowledge from this session. So let's start with introduction. Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Abudu Ahmed Okweyemi. I'm a network and security engineer for Ha-Shem Limited. I'm a tech enthusiast and I have certifications in Cisco and so forth. My hobbies include watching football, learning about solutions that I'm not aware of, and various type of hobby that's known to me. Basically, traveling and playing football. I'll say playing football majorly because I'm always interested in that. So our basic agenda for today is current IT security challenges. So we take that one first. That's the first thing we are going to take in the topic. Then I'm going to introduce the product, that's Cisco Stealthwatch. Then go to the benefit of choosing Stealthwatch, what Stealthwatch can do for you, what it can do for your users, what it can do for your admins, and you as an IT administrator. Then we'll go to the features of the product, and in the later sessions, Sorry, excuse me. In the later sessions, we take the demo and the question. So we'll start with the network. Our normal organization network is comprised of different devices that is purchased by our organization head, maybe our CEO, our board of directors and such. All these devices are connected in such a way that you have a security at the perimeter. That's you have security majorly at the perimeter. That is how most traditional organizations are set up. So enterprise security and networking, they are really facing a significant transformation. Wide-scale adoption of cloud application, an increase in remote worker and expansion of branch office has rendered decentralized and on-premise security model very, very, very impractical. So the convenience, cost savings, performance benefits of going directly to the internet is, is driving a new decentralized approach to networking. Yet with changes come risk and a new set of security challenges. Organizations basically require a broader set of protection that not only improves security, but also simplifies management. So firewall at the perimeter, this sometimes protects users or protects users in the inner land. But what of users that have been compromised? What of users that have their ID compromised? Having a firewall at the perimeter doesn't really prove effective in this scenario. So that is why you need a solution that gives you security with your network. So with security in every part of your network, this is what gives you the major solution to your problem. So enterprise network are really facing a lot of issues regarding security. And for you to be effective in your security, you have to be there all along the way. You have to be there at every point of communication in your organization. You have to enlist yourself for a security that will protect you, protect conversation between your devices. We have a visibility in between communication in your devices. So this is the real solution that can work for you. You don't want a solution that you just have just a single firewall at the perimeter, but you also want another form of protection in which you can be able to protect most of your devices down to your IP cameras, your user's laptop, your printers and all. So with this, you can achieve simplified security and enhance your organization productivity. So effective security really depends on total visibility. In what manner or scenario? You have to be able to identify every host in your organization network. That's number one. Because if you don't have a knowledge of any host in your network or all the hosts in your network, there will be a loophole in your organization network. So you have to effectively know all the hosts in your organization. You have to see every conversation, as every conversation within all the devices, the printer talking to the users trying to print information from the printer, the Active Directory trying to talk to the users. You have to be there to see every conversation that's taking place in your organization. You have to also understand what is normal. You have to understand what is normal and what is abnormal. A DNS server cannot be holding information, so you have to understand what is normal and what is abnormal in your organization for effective security to take place. So you have to also be alerted to changes in your environment. If there's any change in your environment, you as an IT administrator, you have to know that there's a change in your network. It might be a change that is not sanctioned by you, so you have to be there. You have to know that there has been a specific change in your network, and you have to also be able to respond to threats quickly. You have to have that mechanism that will help you respond to threats effectively and quickly, because you cannot be alerted to a change and you wouldn't have the means to remediate the threat quickly. So with all this, gives you effective security in your organization. So this is what all organizations should strive for. I introduced you to the Sophos Stealthwatch. Sophos Stealthwatch is an industry-leading security analytics solution that collects rich data telemetry from your existing network to provide comprehensive threat visibility into the extended network, including your data center, your branches, your endpoints, and cloud. Stealthwatch can detect and respond to advanced threats. It can also help you simplify network segmentation using a combination of behavioral modeling, multi-layered machine learning, and global threat intelligence. Attackers are not just only employing one method to breach your organization, so you have to be there. You have to have various methods of remediating the threat. So this solution basically provides you network traffic behavior analytics based on advanced net flow protocol. You just have to export your flows to the Cisco flow collector on the cloud. So what it means that is your Cisco Stealthwatch track changes in user behavior across the network. Based on collected data, it can evaluate irregular behavior and alert you of any potential security threats in advance. Cisco Stealthwatch is just basically a behavioral analytics solution that models your device. Once it models your device, it sets a baseline for an alert. So once it deviates or once there's any deviation from the baseline, it sends you an alert. So that's what Cisco Stealthwatch is as a product. So security analytics with Stealthwatch. With Stealthwatch, you have integration with Cisco Talos Intelligence Group, which is one of the largest commercial threat intelligence team in the world. That's comprised of world-class researchers, analysts, and engineers. You have this knowledge embedded into Cisco Stealthwatch. This Cisco Talos team are supported by unrivaled telemetry and sophisticated systems to create very, very accurate, rapid, and actionable threat intelligence for Cisco customers. Cisco Talos, basically in a day, they see up to 1.5 million unique malware sample and block as many as 20 billion threats per day. So it gives you the access to a global threat intelligence that is fed by Cisco Talos. So with this is also powered into the security analytics of the solution. You also have a multi-layered machine learning in which there's a learning algorithm that is embedded into the Cisco Stealthwatch that learns as long as it is in your organization network. The more days it uses in your organization network, the more it learns about the network, the more it creates standard about the network, and the more it gives you alerts on any threat that is pending or trying to infiltrate your organization. So another unique feature is information deduplication. Data is matched into a single data set that makes it easier to interpret. So with all this, you also have encrypted traffic analytics in which Cisco Stealthwatch detects malware without decrypting any traffic. You also have the behavioral modeling. Like I said earlier, all your entities or all your endpoints in your organization, as long as there's Cisco Stealthwatch in your organization, from the flows that it has gathered, it is going to model your organization network and going to determine which type of endpoint is trafficking this data. So basically, you have the intelligence of all this in one solution. That is multi-layered machine learning, the global threats intelligence, encrypted traffic analysis, and data collection. So all these are powered on Cisco Stealthwatch. So Stealthwatch provides a comprehensive picture of network activity for combating a robust range of security and performance issues in your network. That's including unknown attack and advanced persistent threat, that's APT, across your physical, your virtual environment. Unlike other security technologies, this system does not rely on signature updates to detect anomalies in your environment. This basically relies on the machine learning algorithm of Cisco Stealthwatch. So with Cisco Stealthwatch, you can determine different type of traffic malware in your network. Maybe it is a dynamic denial of service attack that is going on in your network. You can be able to stand in between that and remediate the attack. It can remediate botnets, it can remediate phishing and other malware. So this Cisco Stealthwatch is important for the security team in this manner because it can help you remediate all these forms of attack that I just said, which is not limited. And as cyber cyber criminals advance the attack, you have Cisco Stealthwatch there, or Cisco Stealthwatch keeps learning and learning, feeds into your organization plan and remediate all attacks that is being combated on your environment. So it's even has the power to remediate the zero attack, like I said. The attack is just based on behavior, just modeling. This kind of behavior isn't normal for this kind of device. So with this, Cisco Stealthwatch can also prevent this type of attack. So Cisco Stealthwatch comes built in with SecureX. Yes, SecureX gives you unifies Cisco security solutions, unifies Cisco security solutions into one console. Maybe you are using Cisco AMP, Cisco Umbrella. So it gives you that leverage to be able to use all the other threat intelligence of other Cisco products in one solution. So this is just a huge advantage for you because of its integration with your existing network infrastructure and other Cisco products. So you have more valuable information available, making your security reports more specific. So with SecureX, you can unify visibility, like I said earlier, unify visibility with other Cisco solutions that you have into one console. You can simplify threat response. You can enable automation with your devices, that's across all your network. So with all this, you can also integrate it with third-party application. You can integrate it with same server and all other solutions. So they can all act as one and share intelligence with each other in the network. You have contextual network-wide visibility. With Cisco Stealthwatch, it is agentless. You don't have to start installing agents on each devices. You just have to export flow data from strategic location in your environment, as maybe you have a router somewhere or a Cisco switch that is at the edge of your network. You can just take that flow and export it to Cisco Stealthwatch. So you don't have to start installing agents on each and every endpoint in your system. You have also smarter integration with knowledge of who is on the network, because with Cisco Stealthwatch, it models all the devices in your network and it sees all the organization traffic, because all the flows are being passed to Cisco Stealthwatch, which is analyzed and remediated. So with Cisco Stealthwatch, you also have actionable intelligence. Actionable intelligence that gives you what type of device is accessing this data, where is the location of this device, is this conversation coming from the right place, is this conversation supposed to be going to this place. So with all this, you get with Cisco Stealthwatch. So Cisco Stealthwatch also gives you the visibility into your top host, your top applications, your network latency and performance. So your IT administrator can be relieved of plenty stress. You don't have to sit down with different console and start navigating and troubleshooting through problems. With Cisco Stealthwatch, you have all this in one. So we move to the benefits of Cisco Stealthwatch. So Cisco Stealthwatch, you just have to leverage existing devices by just exporting flows from your routers. You don't have to buy new devices or new box for you to be able to use Cisco Stealthwatch Cloud. You just have to be able to export flows from devices to the Cisco console on cloud. you have to, it is able to continuously monitor and detect your network infrastructure without giving any breathing space or breathing room for malware propagation. So it also gives you real-time detection of attack by immediately detecting malicious connection from local environments in the internet. So with this, you don't want some of your devices to be accessing sites from country which you don't want. So with this, Cisco Stealthwatch gives you that real-time detection of attack and immediately detects any malicious connection to any sites outside. So it's a cost-effective solution also, and it also helps you ensure compliance with standards like GDPR, HIPAA. You can also scale as you need. Once your business is growing and you feel you need to scale, then you can scale. If you need to scale down, you can also scale down. So Stealthwatch can be used to analyze your whole environment, ranging from your public cloud to your on-premise network to your virtual environment. All this, you can monitor all this using Stealthwatch. You don't have to really be bothered about what is going on your virtual environment when you only have one solution on premise that is protecting you. So the Cisco Stealthwatch, it gives you the capability to be able to monitor all your network. It's just basically a single solution with total visibility, and it gives you seamless visibility across all your network telemetry. You don't have to be scared of not being able to see what is going on in the cloud environment. With Cisco Stealthwatch, you have it all right. Predictive threat analysis is just another feature of Cisco Stealthwatch, in which it models your network and predicts threats. That gives you a base, provide a baseline for the modeling and gives you alerts when there's deviation from the standard. So Cisco Stealthwatch is just a behavior analytics solution which has the ability to look at your network. It can collect data, then it can model your device after studying their exact behavior. Just create a baseline, a standard of operation for the machine, which means that anything apart from that is a deviation from normal activity, and it sends an alert. This predictive threat analysis gives Cisco Stealthwatch the ability to determine a wide variety of attacks and bad behaviors in your network without any signature-based application. It is highly reliable and gives only alerts with high fidelity. Powered with the algorithm, it gives you very, very high fidelity alerts, and most of the alerts are found useful by Cisco Stealthwatch customers. So this ability is also boosted with intelligence from Cisco Talos. So all this you get with Cisco Stealthwatch. So we have the predictive threat analysis, which can fail you because it is almost 99% accurate all the time. Stealthwatch is the first and only solution, like I said earlier, in the industry that can detect malware in encrypted traffic without even decrypting the traffic. Because it's used a form of Cisco proprietary technology, which is ETA, that is encrypted traffic analytics. So Cisco Stealthwatch analyzes network behavior to detect advanced threats, even those hiding in encrypted traffic. So Cisco proprietary encrypted traffic analytics is just technology that uses attributes like initial data packets to detect malware in encrypted traffic without actually decrypting the traffic. So recently, Cisco Stealthwatch Cloud has added further integration with cognitive intelligence. This integration allows Cisco Stealthwatch to ingest ETA telemetry from supported Cisco networking devices and provides additional enhanced fidelity of encrypted as well as non-encrypted traffic. So from there, ETA will alert users of potential threats that might be hiding in encrypted traffic. This alert includes crypto mining, malicious file download, phishing, typo squatting, and more. With Cisco Stealth Intelligence, you have automatic detection and response. It works 247. You don't have to sit down with your console and start troubleshooting. It learns and it works 24/7 to remediate attacks in your environment. So all these attacks are automatically detected in your network and it is responded to from the console. So you can either respond to it from the console once an alert is sent to you. So you can, with Cisco Stealthwatch, you can also do forensic investigation. That's going into the past and checking all your network data to see what has been happening maybe like in 3 weeks, in 3 months. So you have the ability to go back in the past to check what has been happening in your network. Not only the ability to see what is going on currently in your network, you have the ability to be able to see what has been happening in your network in the past so that you can form a basis and you can carry out forensic investigation on your network. All this is powered by Cisco Stealthwatch. So you basically have this in one solution. So it also have rapid threat containment, in which it shuts down the threat immediately it finds any threat that is being flagged. So with all this, you get effective security in your organization. You don't have to lose sleep because you're an IT admin. As an IT admin, you should be able to sleep and take holiday to unrest. So with Cisco Stealthwatch, you have all this and you can have some rest of mind. So you can also investigate threats quickly. Yeah. So you can just go to the console, just drill down into the telemetry that is associated with the security events that is being flagged by the alarm. So once you just go into the console, you can just click 1, 2, 1, 2, then you get down to where the threat has originated, down to the user that brought it down to the organization. You also get top security alarm by the host and audit trail for deeper forensic for past or long running events in your organization. As I said earlier, you have the ability to go back in the past and do a deeper forensics on your environment when a threat has occurred. So you have a very good amount of time to respond to the threat faster. So malware propagation through infected hosts also can also be remediated with Cisco Stealthwatch because of its learning capabilities and automated response and detection. All this you can just get all this with Cisco Stealthwatch. Cisco Stealthwatch gives you all the information and data you need, or all the information you need to carry out effective solution or effective security in your organization rapidly. So from a mitigation perspective, Cisco Stealthwatch can store data in the database, like I said earlier, for up to a year. So the customer can actually go back in time and see what was happening in the network, but not what only happened today, but what happened 3 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. So action can also be sent from multiple components such as your firewall, your router in the network, and flows can be sent from strategic location in your network, which is then utilized by the Cisco Stealthwatch Intelligence. So you can mitigate threats by automatic detection and response, quarantining identified threats using the network, and also an alarm as an alert, which gives you an alert whenever there is a threat that is propagating in your environment. You can block suspicious domains, you can block suspicious sites, suspicious country, blacklist some countries, put it on watch list, isolate hosts, and all this with Cisco Stealthwatch. So you are able to be there immediately when there is threat, not only being there when the threat is going on, but immediately able to resolve it very, very, very fast. So this is how detection and response to advanced threats goes through. Once your alarm is triggered, then you log into the console. Once you log into the console, you identify the device. Once you identify the device, you click into the device, then you can see additional info. Once you get all this additional info that is bundled up inside what you just clicked, then you'll be able to see different informations like the user name, the user location, the time, and every other thing. So you can be able to also know where the data is being transmitted to, and what kind of data is it. Is this user supposed to be transmitting this data? Is this user and sales supposed to be accessing servers meant for the IT? So you can also get this, what kind of data was transmitted, and you can remove the thread from your network, and your forensic investigation is conducted already, because you just did all that within 1 minute, leveraging Cisco, the capability of Cisco Stealthwatch. Stealthwatch understands the network like no other devices. As of Q2 of fiscal year 2020, it has already analyzed all this data. That is up to 6.7 trillion network sessions that is being analyzed each day. So all this data has been analyzed by Stealthwatch. So you understand that you have all the alerts that is being triggered by Cisco Stealthwatch has high fidelity, and customers can highly rely on Cisco Stealthwatch to protect their environment. So about 95% of the alert has been marked as helpful, because once you get an alert and you click the alert, for a user, you can be able to check or tick that this alert has been helpful to you. And from the survey that has been carried out from all the customers that has actually gone through this survey, there's actually a 95% of users or customers that actually mark this as useful. So there's hundreds behavioral models. You have all major cloud is supported on all major cloud platforms. That's AWS Azure. You can actually integrate with all these cloud platforms so that you can use it to protect your cloud environment. So we take a demo now, then later we'll take the question and answer session. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up the demo. Just permit me some minutes. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Amit.
Okay. Can everyone see the demo?
I can see Stealthwatch Cloud. Yeah, I think that's the demo.
Okay. Okay, you can't see the demo screen now.
You can see that front.
Okay. Thank you so much, Temitayo. Thank you so much for the demo. So this is the dashboard for Cisco Stealthwatch. On logging in, you can see your alerts overview. The first thing that you see on your dashboard is your alerts overview. This gives you your alerts that you have, your open alerts that you have in a day. So scrolling down here, you can see the daily traffic for your organization here. So as at 1 a.m., you have this amount of traffic that is going on in your environment here. Sometimes this can also be helpful because you don't want to be seeing a large amount of traffic going on in your environment when everyone has already gone home. So with all this, you can see the daily traffic here going on here. You can also see your endpoints here. These are the number of endpoints that is in your organization here, and your external IP that it has been connected to here. This is also your internal IP. You can also see the whole traffic here in terms of encrypted traffic and non-encrypted traffic. How many encrypted traffic is going through your conversations now? So you can also see that on the dashboard here. So currently here we have about 190.2 gigs, of traffic inbound and outbound. You have 23% of the traffic that is being encrypted here. Your top devices is also here. This 10.201.3.20 has a total traffic of this. So on a 7-day trend, this information is being shown on a 7-day trend. So that is in 7 days, this information is just being gathered in 7 days. You can change this from your settings. Maybe you want it to be shown in 30 days. You can also change this. So here you have your top DNS devices. These are the devices that's using most of the DNS resource. You have top high risk country. Once you classify some countries as countries that you don't want to access, or you block those countries, you also find them here, and you can also do them for here. Now here is Russia, you have Russia here, Ukraine, Vietnam, and Kazakhstan here that has been blocked. So you can see the amount of traffic inbound and outbound that is coming from those countries. So you have observation here, you have 2.2 million observations there. Observations are basically facts about your network. Observations are not necessarily alerts, but there are things that is going on in your organization currently. So it's suspicious observation that triggers an alert. So you have a total of 2.2 million observations that has been analyzed from the flow that has been gotten from Cisco Stealthwatch. So today you have 0, yesterday you have 16.6K. So once those observations are now suspicious, that is when you get an alert from Cisco Stealthwatch, because it continuously analyzes all your network. That is why you have these observations here. Let's go back to the form. Check the alerts here. So you have all these alerts here. So this is what you see when you log into the Cisco Stealthwatch and click on the alert. This is the alert that has been flagged in your organization network. So with all these are alerts that are being modeled by Cisco Stealthwatch. So here at the top here, you have vulnerable transport security protocol. That means that one of your devices is using a vulnerable transport security protocol, maybe TLS 1.0, while it's not supposed to be, or why TLS 1.0 is not supported or to be used in your organization. This is an unusual external server. It's connecting, maybe one of your hosts is connecting to an unusual server that is outside that you don't want it, or that a blacklisted server, or a server that is being flagged as a bad domain or phishing website. So I'll click this vulnerable traffic. So once you click it, you can be able to get more information about the alert that is being flagged. So here it says an insecure transport protocol observation. Device was observed using an insecure transport protocol. The observation uses information from enhanced NetFlow. That means that from the data that it has gathered from NetFlow, it is using an insecure transport protocol. So this is your local device, 10.10.201.3.51 is connecting to this device on this port, that is HTTPS, and is connecting via TLS 1.0. So you are not supposed to connect using TLS 1.0 in your environment. These are all the times that it has tried to connect to it. Try to connect to it, then this at this date, this time, connected to it at this date, this time. So with all this, you can get all this from Cisco Stealthwatch. So basically, it gives you alerts as it comes. So there is never a sleeping time in your organization for threats. So with Cisco Stealthwatch, you get to continuously monitor all this. So this is the session traffic. You get all this. Some of this data are not yet populated because is just a demo. Sorry. So this is the session traffic. This is the traffic that is going on in all your sessions in your environment. So basically, you can just put one of your IPs there and search through the logs there. So from the flow there, you can get all this information, the information about the traffic on the session or different sessions that the IP has been engaging in. So encrypted traffic, yeah. Like I said earlier, Cisco Stealthwatch is able to detect malware even in encrypted traffic. So with this encrypted traffic here, you can see what is going on. It's analyzing the encrypted traffic, telling you that the IP, this is the IP, this is the port that is being connected to, this is the IP that is being connected to. That means that it's using this algorithm AES, is using this kind of key exchange RSA, and it's using SHA-256. So you get all this encrypted traffic. Cisco Stealthwatch gets to analyze everyone and anyone that there's a form of malicious observation in it. it flags you an alert that there is so going on. Maybe there's a phishing attack going on one of those encrypted sessions. So you get all that in your last session there. These are the list of the encrypted traffic that Cisco Stealthwatch has seen. So it's trying to flag everything for you here. So here you can get the total visibility of all encrypted traffic in your organization. So you have a total of about 9,779 encrypted traffic going on this network currently. Go to your user role. So from the role here, this role is being automatically populated by Cisco Stealthwatch. Cisco Stealthwatch determines the type of traffic that is going on in your network, or with its machine learning ability and predictive threat intelligence, it is able to come up with all the roles of endpoints in your organization. So it learns about all these devices with time. So for here now, DNS server here, that means that it has seen this IP, these 5 IPs, that means that it has modeled them as a DNS server. That means that all these devices, they are DNS server here. So you have this DNS server here. If there's an alert on it, you can click the alert. These are the observations on it. Those are the traffic that Cisco Stealthwatch has seen and has collected from the on the flow collector. So these are the observations. So it's only suspicious observation that is going to be flagged as an alert. So if you have any suspicious observation, it's going to be flagged as an alert here. So you also have pipe domain controller here that has been modeled by Cisco Stealthwatch here. So these are the IPs. So once all this traffic is being gathered, or all this information or model, this dynamic entity modeling is just being gathered from only the flow that is being collected by Cisco Stealthwatch. So with all this, you just find this IP, this one, that means all a total of 6 domain controllers in your environment. So from the information that they've been passing in all the sessions that they've been in, Cisco Stealthwatch has already analyzed it and models them as domain controller. So you also have other rules in your environment that you have web server here, web server rule here. You have 20 web server in your environment. Windows workstation, that means a total of 98 Windows workstation in your environment. You also have that one here. Let's go to observations. So these are the level of observations. These are the type of observations that you have. These are models that is used to create observations for your network here. So you have all this Azure Sentinel, Azure Security Events Observation. This type of observation is flagged when there is a security event that is related to Azure. So you have all these observations here. So you go to reports there. You have your flow report, so you can actually generate your reports here. So these are the flow that has been gathered according to the number of days. So on the 27th of this year, it's gathered an effective flow of about 12,000. So this is the total number of flows that is collected by Cisco on this specific day. So all this, you can get all this. Maybe you want to get a very good report for your organization head or your IT manager. So you can get all the reports from here. So there's also traffic summary here. This gives you visibility into the top IPs in your environment. This is the top IPs by traffic in your environment. This is the sources. So this is the subnet. This subnet has a total of 3 terabytes. This subnet is carrying loads of traffic. So this is bytes to and byte from. This is is sending data and what it has connected. This is the total number of connection that IP within this subnet has collected. So you can see all this here. So yeah, you have the most active IPs in your environment. So this are list of most active IPs in your environment. This is the internal. So you can also go to the external. So this is the list of the most active IP in your environment. Those are the external. Maybe these are IPs that some of your devices are connecting to outside your organization network. So you have all this here. You can also see the top port here. So internal ports. This is the most used port here. That is, you have this. So you have all these ports here. These are the total ports here. So you also have the internal, like I said earlier, on the top IPs there. So this is the top port internal. So this is total bytes to total byte from and all the information. You have also the external. That means the ports that most of your devices are connecting to outside the organization. You also have this port is 50. Once you see that there's so much connections to this port, maybe you have an external server somewhere that is using, or there is a specific kind of application somewhere outside that is using this port to communicate with your devices in your environment. Maybe you feel that this is right, then you can leave it. But if you feel this is not right, you can further investigate into this threat or investigate using this information. I'm trying. Let's go to, sorry, user activity. Okay, let's just go to somewhere else and keep doing our survey of the demo site. So these are, we've checked, we've gone through a lot here. These are integrations here. Let's go through the integration here. So I said earlier that you can actually integrate with third-party applications like AWS Azure. This is some of those ports. You can integrate with Cisco Meraki, Umbrella SecureX, and Kubernetes. So all this, you can actually start your integration from here. So you can leverage all the data from each and one of these devices on your Cisco Stealthwatch. So on your Cisco umbrella here, you can actually bring in security information that has been gathered from Cisco umbrella and also import it back to your Cisco Stealthwatch so that you can have good or a good amount of data or information that can be used to determine if there's a malware propagation in your environment. So yeah. Okay, I believe we've gone here. So thank you so much for coming today. Let me go back to the dashboard. This is all what Cisco Stealthwatch can do for you. And I believe that you are going to adopt it in your environment because it's a one type of solutions that give you security analytics for you to be able to remediate threats in your organization. Thank you so much. Chisom, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Hamid. That was very insightful. I'm sure everyone else enjoyed it as well. Okay, so I don't know if we have any questions just before we round up. We have about 6 minutes. I'm going to hold on for about a minute or less.
Sorry.
Madam Jimmy has a question on the chat window.
Okay, I didn't see it. Let me check. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, so we have a question from Vladimir. She says, is it an on-prem or cloud solution? And if on-prem, is it hardware or software based? If cloud, how is connectivity done to on-prem and how is it purchased?
Okay, you can actually, there's Cisco Stealthwatch Enterprise and the Cisco Stealthwatch Cloud. For the cloud, you don't need to integrate or buy any box, but once you are trying to use the Cisco Stealthwatch Enterprise for the environments, then you have to install. But people are moving more to the cloud, so it's better you leverage the ability of the cloud so that you can get a good solution that will work for your organization. So you don't want to have. I just believe that most everyone is trying to migrate to the cloud, so it's far better for you to use cloud solutions. So Cisco Stealthwatch Cloud has two varieties: the enterprise and the cloud. So I believe I've answered that question. But so, what's the second one? Sorry, Chisom.
Thank you so much. Second question.
Okay.
Is it subscription based? Okay, is it subscription based?
Yes, you have to buy a license. Like I said, I didn't say that. You have to buy a license for Cisco Stealthwatch to be able to work in your organization, and it just basically uses export flows from your organization devices. That's existing devices in your organization. You just have to export flows from the on-premise device. That's maybe you have a router in your on-premise, or those flows are going to be taken from strategic locations in your environment. So you want where most of the traffic is passing through. So like your edge router, you believe most of your devices are passing traffic through directly to your router to the internet. So you want to export flow from those devices, and you don't want duplication of flows. Although when you have duplication of flows, Cisco Stealthwatch has the ability to remediate that and just bundle all the flow back into just a single one that is useful to be able to process information.
Okay, thank you, Ahmed. I don't know if you answered if it's per user or per tenant. Did you
Per user
or per tenant? That's the license.
Okay, I would love to get back to you on that. As this, I'm not really a salesperson, but I would love to answer your question, Ma. I will get back to you on that and reply you later.
Okay, thank you, Ahmed. We'll have to get back to you on that question. Thank you so much. I don't know if there are any other questions. Okay, so we have about 2 minutes. I'll just round off here. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you all for joining today's session on scalable visibility and security analytics using Cisco Stealthwatch. Yes, so now we'll be ending today's session. Unfortunately, our webinar for Thursday, slated for Thursday, won't be holding anymore because of the public holiday. So please do endeavor to join us next week, Thursday, for introduction to Power Platform on our Power Platform series. We should be having a webinar next week, Tuesday as well. We'll send further details on that. Thank you all so much for joining, and we hope you found this session insightful. If you haven't filled our feedback, our survey, please endeavor to click on the links I shared earlier and kindly let us know how today's session was, so you can encourage the speaker as well. Thank you so much for joining, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hamid.